What's happening, people? We're back inside the building. Welcome back to Breakfast with KXVU here on Trickstar Radio. Super excited to get into today's interview hour. We've got a fantastic guest in the building, someone whose vocals have instantaneously caught me since we first had a conversation about getting them on the show, and I'm so happy they are here. Yana Toma's in the building. How are you doing?
Hey, love. I'm doing fabulous. How are you today?
I'm great. It's fantastic to have you on the show. I've been looking forward to this one. There's so much to talk about. Obviously, you've got new music that's just landed. You've got some fantastic things on the way. But before we do any of that, I want to dive into a bit more of a kind of backstory about yourself and find out a little bit more about your musical history. So do you want to kind of take me back to the sort of first thing that pushed you towards doing music?
Yeah, sure. I started singing when I was like 8 years old. I was actually classically trained by my mother because she was actually a singer as well back in the day before she had us kids and kind of left her life behind to give us a better life. So she was my first music influence. And then, yeah, after that, I literally like went into every competition, went into loads of solo singing and did my first like singles when I was like 12. So I was like selling my CDs in school. So I was doing like music from such a young age. And then I ended up having my own home studio, which I then ended up doing like a lot of engineering work and just basically, started like getting money from then, really.
Amazing.
And making money from music.
This story is crazy, though, to kind of go from that almost like classically trained kind of background, which is a lot more sort of traditional, I suppose, in that sort of singer-songwriting kind of world, to then going very much that sort of DIY route, obviously selling. I love that thing of selling CDs in school. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, I was so set on it. Like, when I was 8, I was like, yeah, this is all I want to do forever. Like, I've never really looked back and thought, oh, no. It's just like, I don't know, music just completed me. And I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. And that was it.
Amazing, man. That's such a cool thing. I just love hearing about people kind of getting that kind of getting their teeth stuck into something quite early, I suppose, is a good way of putting it, and really just knowing this is what I want to do. And that whole thing of selling CDs in school, that's always something I find so interesting to hear. And then obviously moving into the engineering side of things, is that something you picked up quite quickly?
Yeah, because when you've got your own studio, you're just kind of like passionate. All you want to do is just work on music. So I was just getting like a lot of like friends that actually paid to have sessions. So I'll just record them, and that's how I was actually earning money until my mum was like, right, I don't want people in the studio. And then I was like, oh, damn. But it's like everywhere I went, every time I had a job anywhere, it was like music always followed me. So it was like we kind of picked each other. It wasn't just a one-way street.
Yeah, no, that's awesome though, man. I love that thing of people cramming into the house studio.
She's like, yeah, we're not having that anymore. I was like, but what do you mean? This is how I made my money. She's like, no.
That's amazing. Okay, cool. So kind of going from that sort of engineering side of things then, obviously, how did you, as a kind of singer first, I suppose is a good way of putting it, how did you find the balance more than anything else?
I guess you make every way possible because it's like you start off, and I was doing like the engineering stuff, and then I did music technology, so it just kind of went hand in hand. And then I just got like my own little setup because obviously that home studio stuff had to stop. And then ever since then I kind of traveled as well. Had a manager since I was 17. Traveled to ATL, like stayed out there for like 3 months, back and forth. Went to LA. So yeah, did quite a lot. Met a lot of people that have actually made it right now as well. So hopefully I'm next.
Awesome. I mean, how did you find that sort of traveling element as well? Obviously, so many people talk about traveling being that kind of an extra sort of dash of influence that kind of pushes them over the line. Like, would you say that's been similar for yourself?
I think it was just obviously traveling just gives you so much knowledge and just opens up your mind so much, and I feel like it's just so important. And that's why like I've got such a I've got such a different opinion to quite, just because traveling helps a lot and you meet different people. So I guess it's really good, even for music. Like, I got to meet so many amazing writers, singers, and you just learn a lot. And you just basically, the more you practice your craft, the more it helps you build on your own talent. So I guess it's just really helped me, and I think it's the best thing anyone could do. And it depends on what you want to be, because I've always wanted to be an international superstar. So I've always wanted to just be out, you know, and just make sure that I just get my hands on anywhere I could outside of England too.
I mean that term international is quite an interesting one, because I've read a few interviews from yourself, kind of text ones, when I was obviously doing my background searches and all that sort of stuff. And I saw the word international popping up loads and loads of times. It seemed to be a theme of every single article. Like, is that something that is really kind of like a central part, like wanting to be an international performer?
Yeah, because I feel like my music is very international. I've got, you know, a lot of pop elements, jazz, electro, soul, so a bit of each. I've got so many projects ready, and I just can't wait to put the songs out. So this year is just going to be about me consistently putting all these songs out. But I've literally been building non-stop. Like, I've literally been making music non-stop, and I just can't wait to keep making more. Of
course, man. Well, that's the best way to be. Entirely, it's the best way to be. And obviously, with that, then lockdown's been a bizarre situation, but it must have been a bit of a godsend, I suppose, to have that home studio available.
Yeah, honestly, it was great, because me and my friends just locked in. Like, we was just quarantining actually together, just making music. So we just made loads of songs, and we kind of just spent that time being productive together and just isolate together, really.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of gold in the archives, and I'm looking forward to hearing it as it goes.
We hope so.
We opened up with a tune called Drunk Text, which sounds absolutely amazing. Again, thanks for getting all this stuff over. It's great to kind of listen through these tunes. It's why I love doing these interviews, because we get to actually hear the sort of stuff you're talking about whilst we're actually having a discussion about it at the same time. And with that, we are going to move into the next track for the day. Now, this is your most recent single. It goes by the name of Fire. I've got a funny feeling there's a bit of a story behind this one, so talk me through how this one came together.
So I met the producer called Rob Holiday in LA like 3 years ago, and he's under Diddy, P Diddy, and then he was like, "Yeah, I love your music. We're gonna do a project together." So I was like, "Okay." So after 3 years, he was like, "Right, let's get it." So I went there for a whole week and literally made a song every day. We literally got a whole EP together, and yeah, that's how Fire came around. Hooked up with quite cool writers, and it was just so natural, and it was just the right vibe. And we literally just put melodies down on the song after Rob played us that beat, because all his beats just slap. So we was like, yeah, this is great. So we put down melodies, and then yeah, it was just like a natural flow, and we just literally came up with all that stuff, and then we ended up with Fire.
Amazing, man. I mean, this is it's so interesting listening through, because it seems like the kind of general theme I'm getting from this is that very much music is your kind of natural state. You know, it seems so much that this is the area you just feel most comfortable in.
100%. I feel like it's just my therapy, my outlet, and I feel like this is all I was born to do. It's very strange to explain to people, but it's like, I feel like I'm just, you know, I feel like I just represent music in a way, and it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I can feel it, man, because all of these sort of situations, obviously kind of having people in the studio setting, obviously picking up that studio setting, selling CDs early, then obviously travelling around, going to ATL, and then obviously travelling back out there for the new single. It definitely seems like that this is something that's very much aligned with you as a person as well, so it's wicked to hear. It's such an interesting story, and I'm sure everyone locking in is going to find it just as interesting as I do as we move forward. So we're going to get into this brand new single now. It does go by the name of Fire. I believe this one dropped towards the beginning of February. I believe it's available everywhere.
Sorry, say that again.
It's available everywhere, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. All good. Right, let's crack on with this one then. Don't go anywhere, my friends. It's just gone 12 minutes past 9 here. We are live on the Big Bad Trickstar Radio. Yana Toma is on the line. It's Breakfast with KXVU, and we have got some more stuff in store, so keep it locked.
This is Breakfast with KXVU, bringing you their morning flavours on Trickstar Radio.
Trickstar Radio.